Why do most stories start with local Florida man?
Because one singular local Florida man has done some crazy shit in his life.
Do you guys know what Eurovision is?
Yeah, the like basically American Idol, but for all of Europe, and it happens.
So we
once a
can
year.
we can never be in Eurovision. We should do Amerivision and have each state appoint their top singer and fucking compete for the crown. I think it'd be cool.
I mean, it'd be cool, maybe.
Okay.
But like,
It's like our Eurovision.
okay, so hold on. Let's go through what state would probably have what kind of band. For example, Ohio would definitely be an emo band.
100%.
Oh yeah, easily.
100%. Wait a minute.
Absolutely.
Are you saying that 21 Pilots doesn't qualify?
Well, no, I'd imagine this is like random people, right?
Yo,
We're not just
they're
gonna.
pretty emo though. Yeah,
I mean,
you can't
yeah.
be a pro.
Yeah, you can't.
Right? Like Eurovision isn't pro, right? Like they had Celine Dion, but when she was an amateur,
right.
Nah, when it would 100% would be an emo band.
Yeah.
it would.
California ska.
And I was gonna say like Europop, like electropop.
Eurotrash.
Portland
Yeah.
would have some fucking ukulele shit.
Yeah, Portland has some hipster
Oregon.
ass shit. I think Washington's pretty obvious.
Tennessee would,
Grunge.
grunge. Tennessee would have bluegrass, or Kentucky bluegrass. I don't know. I guess Kentucky, right? Tennessee would have country because Nashville. Yeah, Nashville. They'd
Country.
have like Taylor Swift type shit. Florida would have hip hop probably. So would Georgia.
Yeah.
So would probably South and North Carolina.
Would Maine just be like Stephen King movie soundtracks?
Maine might be like a classical composer.
I'd be curious to hear what Delaware is.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
It's
in
just-
Delaware.
It's just the sound of a record skipping over and over again. No, it's just like the white noise like on the old TVs.
It's like BuzzFeed did this. I seldom watch BuzzFeed because it's BuzzFeed, but BuzzFeed did a video of the alcoholic beverage of every state,
Nice.
and these two people literally drank the alcoholic beverage of every one of the 50 states.
Is
And
this?
there were several states that did not. They just drink water because their alcohol laws were so tight.
What the fuck?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wait, is this one of those things like the government appoints the state bird and shit like that?
No, I don't think it's that. I think I'm not sure how they measured it because I think it was just like either the drink that most represents the state or the drink that's like most common throughout the state is what I'm guessing.
Okay.
Okay. Well, back to music real quick before I forget.
But anyway.
Texas would probably be country, sadly, even though it's where fucking Post Malone's from, and I'd rather go with that.
Dude, that video, he played fucking he played with Aerosmith at the VMAs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. He started out playing Rockstar and then that part of the stage like rose up after the 21 Savage part. And then all of a sudden he just comes out, grabs like Post Malone, grabs a guitar, and next thing you know they're playing Sweet Emotion.
Whoa,
Nice.
bro, I need to watch that. That sounds sweet.
That sounds
Or was
sweet.
this-
Emotion.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was pretty great.
What other music genres can we think of, or did we already kill this joke? This gag? This bit? This work?
Would Oregon just be like the Life is Strange soundtrack?
No, I already said Portland, Oregon would be like
Oh yeah.
a ukulele or something. So would Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah,
would
Hawaii-
definitely be ukulele music.
No, Hawaii would be that one guy. Like he has a really long name that starts with an I, and he does like Somewhere Over the Rainbow ukulele cover.
Yeah,
It'd
dude,
just be him.
I just heard that song for the first time this year
What?
in my life. Yeah, dead serious. I never knew that dude. I never knew that song until 2018.
Did
I
you
know.
just-
I feel like I'm living on a rock or something.
Did you skip the internet from like 2006 until just now?
I don't know. It was weird. I mean, I saw it had like 300 million views. I was like, damn, where the fuck have I been? Because Somewhere Over the Rainbow to me isn't that Judy Garland? Isn't that
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz?
Mm-hmm. Wizard of Oz.
That's where I think of that song, and I never heard that version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So it was a cool backstory with that too. Apparently, he had an idea in his head to do that at like 3 a.m, and he like called the owner of this recording studio, who came and let him in, and he recorded it in one fucking take.
And that fact was brought to you by Tumblr from 2008. Welcome to the Tiny Disc Podcast, a show about game and life. This is episode 59. I am Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by the very 2000 late teen to the party, Jack Cepeda.
That's my ukulele, guys. I brought it today.
And our grungy Seattle boy, Colin Sparling.
Yes, I am settling here nicely in the Pacific Northwest in grunge land. So much so that I'm still sweaty from this Alice in Chains scavenger hunt that I just got back from.
Rip.
Did you have to find Alice? Did you have to find some chains?
So basically, you had to find Alice and her chains.
Okay.
Really?
So basically, what happened was, so Alice in Chains, which is like one of the big grunge bands from the 90s, they're still going. They're about to release a new album. So to promote said new album, they're like, "Hey, yo, Seattle peeps, we hid 10 CDs throughout the city.
CDs. Remember those?
Yeah, go. They're all signed, by the way. Go find them, and every CD will net that lucky person guest list status at the secret show that they're having here in Seattle on Friday that no one knows the location of.
Except
Did they give
Alice.
clues? Yeah. Did they give clues to where the CDs were or no?
Yes, and so basically you had to stare at their Instagram story and watch it update and watch for any clues. And so I was like staring at it all day when I was at my internship. And as soon as I got it, I'm like, "Hey, gotta go this Alice in Chains scavenger hunt. Okay, later, kid. Bye." And so I sprinted out and I headed toward the city. And the last one before I got out of work was one right next to the Space Needle. And then I went hunting for another one, and it was at Pike Place Market. So I was like, "Oh shit!" It's took off sprinting. Like I was sprinting down the street. I got some really weird looks, but my backpack was flopping everywhere, and I was like staring at my phone. I'm like literally crossing the street to get to Pike Place Market when I looked and I saw their story updated, and somebody already got the CD.
Oh damn!
I was so upset,
Dude. So was that the closest you got to finding one?
That was the closest I got. Yeah, I crossed the street and passed the person with the CD in their hand.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, scavenger hunt, what up?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." It's like, "You son of a bitch!"
You should have
ass.
beat him for it.
I know, if I wasn't in the middle of if it wasn't in the middle, dude, I should have, because it would have been right in the middle of a fucking crosswalk crossing a busy street.
Oh shit! I like how me and Robert both go to incite violence.
Yeah.
Incite violence. Yeah.
That was our knee-jerk reaction. So I just realized something. You're talking about Pike Place or whatever. I'm like, holy shit, Seattle's where Starbucks is from. So then I thought to myself, like, holy shit, you're probably like nearby the first Starbucks, like number one.
I've been to it.
Yeah.
Is it all that?
I mean, it's a pretty like touristy trap. When you walk inside it, it doesn't look like any other Starbucks you've been to. You see like gigantic vats of like probably filled with coffee beans and stuff like that. And it's very small. It's like tiny. Like there isn't really even places to sit. You just kind of walk in to get your coffee and walk out.
It's the first one, right? I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, and for those of you who buy Starbucks for whatever reason, you'll know the Pike Place roast. It's named after Pike Place.
And is that a road or is that a place?
It's like it's a district, or it's like a big downtown shopping area.
Right.
Gotcha.
There's a road called Pike Place.
Well, it's just Pike Street.
Or that. But anyway, so I was super sad. It was a good opportunity to explore the city, while I was inhaling all this wildfire smoke we've been getting.
It's not
which
bad
has been
today.
great.
It's not that bad today, though.
Looks kind of hazy in the background.
But actually, so that was the first time I've actually been out in the city since we've gotten the smoke here really bad. And there are so many people wearing masks.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people wearing masks. So
maybe they're just Asians, dude, and you're racist.
Well, that's actually true. There were a lot of Asians wearing masks, but also other people.
Yeah, but that usually means like you're sick or something. Otherwise,
no, I hear you. So how bad is the smog on a scale of Beijing to Columbus, Ohio?
It's like, it's
closer
like
to
smoke. It's wildfire smoke. It's not smog.
It's closer to Beijing, but there was one morning where Colin and I woke up and we were both like, "Dude, do you actually smell fire?"
Fuck.
Yeah, legit. I woke up in the middle of the night to the smell of wood burning.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Is there fire visible from you guys?
No, I haven't seen any, but so whenever I drive over the West Seattle Bridge, you get a pretty nice view of downtown with all the buildings and the Space Needle. It's hazy and it looks like an afterthought right now. From
it's like I was joking with Robert the other day. It's like the old fucking way they used to render like PS1 and PS2 games with the fog.
Yeah,
just so they make the graphics run okay. It looks like it's just not rendered off in the distance.
Right. I get it. Like screen pop in and shit.
Yeah, basically. You can't see the lake at all.
So what's crazy is like that sucks in its own regard, but for whatever reason this summer Austin is getting fucking Sahara desert dust from around the fucking planet. Yeah, we're getting giant dust clouds that just make the city and the sky look like total shit, and it's dust from the fucking Sahara desert in Africa.
So is it making the sky yellow?
Jet streams, motherfuckers. That's how.
Oh.
Is the sky all yellow and shit?
Yeah, it's like yellow and dingy and just gross. It looks like a really bad Instagram filter.
See, that's funny because that happens.
Gross.
That happens a lot in Korea actually, because the Gobi Desert is huge in China, and pretty much every summer we get like a giant dust cloud from the Gobi Desert coming right down over Seoul. But like, because China's become kind of a industrial superpower in recent years. Recently, it's been also carrying like smog and pollution and gross factory farts right into Korea, which has been great.
That's what I thought. Awesome. I thought dust was like dead human skin. I didn't know dust just came from deserts.
I mean, humans have probably died in the desert.
Well, that too, and also not all dust is like human. You're actually like almost right. Like most of dust is dead cells as we see it in like our houses and stuff. That's like dead skin cells and shit like that. Like I think it's over 90% of it is. But like when you see it outside, it's usually some sort of like sand or rock sediment or soot. I mean, it could be all kinds of things.
Is dust just haunted air? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's air that suffered a mysterious, hazardous death in the area.
Interesting.
And it returns to
very
haunt.
dark, very dark.
Very evil.
Now let me tell you guys something else about Seattle. The bubble tea craze. Robin and I talk about it all the time.
I mean, that's everywhere though.
But it's here. It's I'm talking every street corner, my dude. It's everywhere.
Is Seattle the most Asian city besides San Francisco on the West Coast?
It might be. I want to visit San Fran to find out for sure, but like it's so Asian here and I love it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's so much good food, like so much they have just so much influence here, and it's awesome. Like even the street signs, a lot of the street signs have like all sorts of kanji symbols, and like they're written in all sorts of Asian languages and dialects. I don't know if are some of them in Korean, Robert. I don't think. No. I know I've seen Japanese before.
The Korean restaurants have Korean on them, but for the street signs are in like Chinese and Japanese, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but it's really cool that they sort of embrace it there, which is kind of sad because some of the areas are getting a little bit more gentrified. But I mean, it's still really cool to see. But point being, the bubble tea here is amazing, and it's kind of becoming almost as big as coffee here. I would say, like a lot of coffee places even do bubble tea, but yeah, like every kind of bubble tea you could possibly want is here. Bubble tea being obviously just so tea, milk, sugar, and tapioca bubbles over ice, and it's the best. It's an addiction. Once you taste it, you're like, it's kind of weird, and then you keep drinking. You're like, wow, it's pretty good, and then you're addicted.
Did you say over rice?
Ice.
Okay.
I've had a roast con leche. That's Spanish food, and that's delicious.
That sounds delicious.
Wait,
it's like a rice milk drink.
Yeah,
and there's rice in it.
Oh, yeah. Is it like a mushy rice, or like how does that even work?
It's cooked rice. I mean, it's basically Mexican bubble tea with rice.
Gotcha. Would you like some Mexican bubble tea?
I did say, dude, I will say though, like I had the strangest thing the other day. It was a bubble tea smoothie.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was literally like the texture of a smoothie. I got a taro. It was like taro. It was like fresh taro made into a smoothie with tapioca at the bottom.
I've never heard it pronounced taro before. I always heard taro.
Well,
like the cards.
I mean, it's Japanese, so it's taro. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Bubble tea. Oh, what about that bingsu, son?
Bingsu?
Yeah, you ever get any of that?
I haven't gone to a place here yet for that, but I also haven't been like searching for it. I'm sure there's bingsu in the city.
There's this place here called Snow Monster. Fucking world class. Shout out to Snow Monster in Austin, Texas.
Do they do that? They do like all kinds of bingsu, like some with like mango slices on them, and like cheesecake.
Tons, dude. It's so cheap. $5 will get you like a bucket of bingsu. It's incredible.
Wait. Amazing. So what exactly is it? I'm kind of confused.
So it's a Korean dessert, shaved ice, and then just like whatever kind of toppings you want, essentially. Like
basically anything in a bubble tea.
Yeah,
For
or
starters.
like red bean paste. I've seen cheesecake
Fruit.
bits. Yeah,
Fruit,
all
yeah.
kinds of diced fruit. It's pretty good.
That's
Syrup,
pretty wild.
usually topped with a fruit syrup.
Yeah,
Something sweet.
so yeah, that's interesting. Like, because Robert, kind of like that. Robert introduced me to crepes, like
Yo,
the way they do up crepes, and is it Korean? Is it Korean?
Japanese. It's Japanese.
It's a Japanese thing.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
seen it. I see it on Terrace House all the time. I'm like, fuck, I want a crepe. Do they have that there in Seattle?
They do.
Yeah,
Yo, they have good ones.
Shit.
Like I had one with like tuna salad in it and like eggs. It's so good.
Oh, what the fuck? You're fucking me up, dude. I thought it was like a sweet kind of thing, not a savory.
they're-
No, they
they're-
have that
Tuna
too.
salad crepe.
Yeah, but there are also sweet ones with like strawberry and ice cream in it or some shit.
Yeah, I got one with like strawberry and cream and bananas and chocolate and yeah.
Yeah, when I'm thinking dessert, I hear tuna salad. It just really fucked me up.
Subway tuna salad.
For dessert. Do you guys have Natural Grocers there? That
I mean,
chain of grocery stores?
I mean,
It's
we
called
have
Natural
Whole-
Grocers is
We
the
have
name.
Whole Foods.
We have Whole Foods.
Anyway, I've
Amazon's
never
here.
seen this at Whole Foods, but Natural Grocers, I just discovered this. They sell these crepe snacks that are like individually packaged and wrapped crepes. And they're like, I don't know, like 30 layers because they're so thin on the inside. But then they'll have them like with Nutella in them or strawberry jam or some real good like kind of preserve.
Sounds like a
Fucking
Hot
awesome.
Pocket.
Kind of.
Frozen.
Cold. They're usually cold. But yeah, it was crepes are I'm down for some crepes now.
Yeah, crepes are basically very thin pancakes, and I'm a fan.
They
Yo,
seem like
so
they'd be
can
hard to
we-
make.
Can we stop talking about food? You guys are making me hungry.
I haven't eaten oh wait, yeah, I did eat dinner, never mind.
Wow.
Did you
Yes, I did. It was so
Dude.
long ago.
Too bad, Colin. This whole show is going to be about food. We're going to talk about food.
Welcome
for
to the Tiny Food Podcast.
Tidy podcast.
Welcome to
tiny-
Delicious Dish on NPR Radio.
little bitch.
You guys ever seen that old clip on Saturday Night Live? It's called Delicious Dish. It's an NPR, like it's like a spoof on NPR radio, and the sweaty balls one. Okay,
I'd like everyone to please try some of my sweaty balls.
it's an ancient sweaty recipe.
God, it's like in South Park when they had chef's chocolate salty balls.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
stick them in your mouth and suck them.
Stick them in your mouth and suck them.
All right, let's stop talking food, though. Let's dish about some games we've been playing. Jack, do you want to start us off? Have you been able to play any games?
Yo, well, it's been like a couple weeks since we talked about games, so I do have quite the list here to catch up with. But I'm going to focus on 3.
Oof.
I've been playing the shit out of some Dead Cells ever since 1.0.
My man.
And hot damn, that game is sweet. That game is very, very good. I don't know what I mean. Sometimes I'll go on some epic runs that will last me like hours. Sometimes I'll go on like I'll die like right away. But I've never had so much fun playing a game like that, like a roguelike in a way, like with so much repetition. But they have a unique way of keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
With the procedural generation of the levels, and the graphics look incredible. The music is very good. I think the music is a little underrated.
Like, I forget, did you play it at all during its early access, or are you only jumping in fresh at 1.0?
Just a touch. Like I just tapped in. I was like, you know what? I want to wait till this is done because, as I understand, they went through a lot of changes and iterations.
Yep. Wiping saves and
Yeah. So I
All
wanted to
kinds of
wait
stuff.
till it's done. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It is. The combat is so good. I mean, sometimes it's frustrating when you find a weapon you really love, and then you die. You're like, fuck, and then you aren't guaranteed to ever find that weapon ever again. Kind of. So that's a little heartbreaking. But I'm loving it right now. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it controls great. The combat, it looks phenomenal. I mean, on all fronts. Like I said, the sound is fantastic. I made it to the second boss, the Timekeeper boss. Did you beat him?
No, so I actually haven't played much of 1.0. I only first started playing it last night, and I got to the first boss, and they beefed him up since I last played, which I'm a fan of. But then I died to him.
Right. So fucked up when you lose like 30 cells. Oh, that is hard. That's the most I've ever lost. I
Oh,
was so
dude.
pissed.
It can
That's a lot.
at least in early access. I've once had a run where I lost like 100 something cells.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
it's rough.
Dude, Colin, I cannot recommend this game enough. I think this game's going to come around Game of the Year time. I think it's really that good.
Yo, man, I love Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a triumph of shockingly good game design. The ever-changing guts of its beautifully illustrated levels, a staggering array of game-changing weapons and gadgets, and its breakneck motion. Oh, wait, this is IGN's review.
No, you're hired.
Philip.
You're hired.
Hi,
I'm
Philip.
starting a website. You got a job, sir.
This totally isn't IGN's review that I'm reading to you right now.
Wait, Philip Mewson, hold on. Can we get you on the phone? Hello?
That's what's really sad about this game is that like the narrative is completely skewed, right? Everyone just thinks now about that IGN story about the guy plagiarizing. We covered it a couple weeks on this very show.
Yeah.
In
What do you
news.
mean, guys? I
It's
totally
oversha-
played the games. This is totally my original thoughts.
It's totally overshadowed how awesome fucking sweet this game is.
And frankly, I was kind of hoping we could have a discussion about it without bringing up Philip, but I guess Colin has to live in the
Leave it to
zeitgeist and has
The
to
colonizer.
Yeah, he has to fucking man. Everyone talks about this. I gotta jump on it. Philip, guys, remember Philip?
I was so
Plagiarism.
not gonna bring. I was so not even thinking about that. I wasn't gonna bring.
No,
it up,
I mean
so.
it's cool to pretend that you played this game though, guys. Right?
Yeah, see, exactly. Though that's the thing is what I hate about Philip right now is that no one's gonna talk about Dead Cells the same anymore. No one's gonna be like, dude, this game was really cool in early access, and now it's even better in 1.0. Now it's just like, LOL, that's cool and all, but did you really play it?
Yeah.
You know, it's,
You know what? Hey, it's probably helping them sell copies though. So I mean,
it's getting the name out, but it's still like, it's just a shame that discussions now are just going to be bogged down.
No, because this game is very, very good. I think it's
no,
better
it's
than
up on my
Spelunky.
list of Switch games to buy for sure.
I think it's better than Spelunky. I think it's better than. It's not a Metroidvania either, which a lot of people think it is. It has certain aspects of a Metroidvania, but it is not that kind of game whatsoever. It's
Yeah.
more like a roguelike. It's more like Rogue Legacy.
I would say the first few hours are kind of Metroidvania-y because you're kind of getting those skills to access new areas. But then once you get them, it's kind of like, okay, it's just a roguelike. A good one, though.
This is a game you could literally spend over 100 hours in. It's a deep, long game, man. It is fucking good.
And I've heard, too, that even New Game Plus, there's like stuff to do. So that's exciting.
Why is every game 100 hours?
So it's fun though, man. The feel of it, the combat and the skills and the way they stack on top of each other. Man, Robert, the last time I died, I was so heartbroken. I died to that boss. I almost killed him, by the way, but I had 2 fucking level 6 gold weapons
Nice.
that worked like perfectly. Oh, and it's really cool too when you you'll have the ground stomp that causes burning, and then your weapons will stack damage if someone's burning. I don't know. It's just it really nails that kind of Borderlands kind of weapon and Diablo, right? Kind of weapon rolling. It's fucking good.
Yeah, it's the perfect game for coming up with good synergies on the fly. And they add so many interesting weapons. Like one of my favorite ones, at first I thought it'd be a joke. It's the Spartan sandals. Have you used those?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Where
basically
kick
just
people.
Sparta kick an enemy. That's all you do. You just hit X the Sparta kick. And it does no damage, but if they hit a wall, it does stupid damage. If you knock an enemy into the wall.
Right. And it reminds me as well. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, there's so many times where I've kicked someone off the edge, and I'm just like, this is Sparta.
You say it out loud in your room by yourself.
Yeah.
So this game does what some of the best games in the world do, which is kind of like Geometry Wars and kind of like Halo in a lot of ways if you think about it. But they make it very easy to identify the types of different enemies. They have a wide variety of enemies which have very distinct attacks and very distinct behaviors, and also very nuanced ways of tackling or of beating them the best. And I just think it does a great job both visually, audibly, and communicating that and giving you the skills to kind of whoop some serious ass and feel really empowered in combat.
Yeah, and they changed little details too. Like back in early access, in the first area, there are enemies that throw red grenades at you.
Yep.
So back in the day, those just looked like the green zombies, but were reskinned to be red. And I was like, oh, I guess, all right, sure. But then they updated it, and then throughout the road of getting into final release, they changed the whole design of that enemy, which I thought was really
nice.
cool. Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah. And it seems like, I don't know how long this game's been in early access, but it seems like forever, years.
I've been about a year and a half, I want to say.
That's it.
Yeah, I thought
Wow.
it was a long time. I actually thought it was longer than that.
I thought it was longer too, but man, it seemed like forever. So I'm going to keep playing this game. And like I said, I think this game's going to come around Game of the Year time. We'll see which, by the way, guys, it's damn near September, which means the year's damn near over, and I feel like it just started.
We have a lot of games still to
The
come
years
out.
fucking fly by, dude.
I'm scared, dude.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's and Spider-Man's right around the corner. Red Dead's right around the corner. Holy
Dude, new
shit.
Yakuza drops on Tuesday.
It's fucking
Yeah,
Tuesday. It's
that's
time
the
for a new
one.
Yakuza game.
That's the one to talk about, Colin. Out of all the
Yep.
games coming out by the end of this year, Yakuza Kiwami, that's the one. Kiwami 2.
Hey, fuck
Kiwami
you.
2.
I love my boy Kiryu. Don't be hating.
Same. I want him in a Tekken game, but I'm also not going to be there and be like, Red Dead Redemption 2, try
I
Kiwami
think
2.
Yeah.
Whatever.
right, so-
Redemption 2's for pussies.
Two other. Okay, guys, I'm going to derail this conversation.
Yeah, what's up?
So
What's next?
two other games I want to touch on real quick. Don't need to talk about them very long. I'm playing Madden 19, basically just because it's the new Madden. It's checking all the
Ouch.
boxes. It's fine. There's nothing great about it. I will say it does continue the story mode, the kind of telltale story
Oh,
mode of
do you-
of last year's Madden.
Do you play like the same guy from the last one?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It continues the story. So that's cool. But I still think the story mode last year was better. So it's using the Frostbite engine. It looks fantastic. It sounds great. It's also on PC, which is notable for the first time in I think maybe ever. I can't even think. Maybe it was on PC in the 90s.
Maybe. Couldn't say.
Yeah, so I'm playing an ultra wide 34 by 1440, and you can play it in 4K as well. So yeah, it looks great, but it's just football. It's just, like I said, it's another one of those. There's nothing phenomenal about it. It's just got the new rosters and shit. More notable is the way I got it. I actually ended up dropping the $100 for EA Origin Premier.
Oh, hey.
And so I'm just now subscribed to video games now. And I almost want to do it this way from this point. I just want to be like, can I just like subscribe to video games? Like I'll just pay video games, I'll just flat fee, and then I just get all the games every month. Like,
Hey, video games. Here's
Yeah.
my money. Just I'm just
Can
gonna
I
play
just-
all of you.
like the Spotify video games basically, or something like
Yeah.
that, right? Like I think slowly it's going to go in that direction. One way or
100%.
another.
I mean, we've already got EA and Xbox on it.
Ubisoft, I'll bet, is next. Or maybe not the very next one, but they are, soon to follow. So yeah, and I think Nintendo is evaluating that as well. I don't have any evidence of that, but
If I had to bet, I would say Nintendo will be the last of the major
they always are.
names of the game to
Oh,
adopt something like
100%.
that.
Yeah, because people have no problems laying down $60 for their first party games.
Fair enough. It is way cheaper to pay the $100 for a year as well than paying the $15 a month. It's
true.
like $80 cheaper. It's stupid. So I guess I'm getting Anthem now, and I guess I'm getting Battlefield 5, yeah,
5, yeah.
and and whatever else EA is dropping on me.
Now-
I've got
Let me
Faye
ask-
and yeah.
I was gonna say, let me ask you this: does that now, if you get Battlefield 5, does that include all the DLC with it that comes out? And
Yeah,
everything?
it's all the gold. It's like basically the gold version of every game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I got the gold version of Madden, which normally is $100 to buy, and I just paid $100 and now I get to play it. So it makes a
Shit.
lot of sense for EA sports games because people just usually buy those on an annual basis, anyways.
Yeah.
like
That's true.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe like Call of Duty would ever do that, because Call of Duty is it's the same game every year basically.
I don't think Blizzard Activision will ever do that.
I'm wishy-washy. I'm not sure if they would make that move or not because they've already pushed pretty hard for the games as a service sort of deal.
Yeah. Plus, I definitely think Blizzard games are like they wouldn't do that just because like Colin said, there are games as a service, but it's like when you buy Diablo, I mean it's still getting updated. It's been like 10
Right.
years.
Right. I mean, that's the thing.
same-
Like, well, if we're talking Blizzard specifically, I mean, they don't really make games. They kind of just come out with a game every once in a while and just keep updating without ever making anything new for years.
Like we're not going to see an Overwatch 2 for years. We're just going to see Overwatch in 3 years, but with more updates and more heroes.
Right. We're not going to see a new Blizzard game for years, probably.
Diablo 4.
Yeah. We'll see.
Some point. Okay. Last game I want to talk about, and then give you guys the mic here. I don't know what it is. Maybe I do know what it is. I think Nintendo getting on these ROM sites and having all their games taken down, has really pissed me off.
Nice.
In a lot of ways, for a lot of reasons.
I think it's very counterproductive. I don't like it.
It just really bums me out, man. Especially what happened to Emu Paradise. Like that was kind of like my go-to.
Yeah, that's where I got all my ROMs for my NES and SNES Classic mods.
You hear that, Reggie? You're making Jack sad.
Yeah.
Come on, Reggie. Don't make Jack sad.
Aren't there headquarters in Seattle too, Colin? You might want to shut your mouth.
Yeah, over in
Redwood.
Yes. Wait.
Redwood, Washington.
Redmond,
Washington. Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, where was I going with this? Oh, so I was like, fuck, I want to play some Super Nintendo games. I don't give a shit. Thank God I kind of have gone through my emulator phase and like went and gotten, 99% of the games I ever wanted to play because they're kind of disappearing now, which is something I never thought would happen. But I started playing Chrono Trigger again, the Super Nintendo version.
Nice.
And I guess it just went on sale on Steam too.
Yeah,
not the best version of that game.
No.
I've heard though that they updated it enough where now it's like passable.
Passable, okay, but it is still the iOS version of that game.
Yeah.
And the graphics, even though they're high res, I can tell you now because I've been A/B testing it. Especially the overworld map where you're a small little character. If you guys ever played this game, where you're a small little character and you're like walking from city to city, towns and shit and castles, it looks like total ass compared to the Super Nintendo version. Like, it looks just so bad. I was like, what the fuck is this sprite? So anyways, I've been playing that. I'm probably like 10 hours in, and man, just as good as ever. That game is, I don't know. It's
such a good game. Like I still play my DS version.
I have the DS version too. It is it's the best game in my opinion that artist ever worked on.
Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. It's my favorite game that he has ever done art for.
Yeah, I mean I don't think there's too many people that'll argue that. I mean, there's basically that and then Dragon Quest, and I think there might be an odd one out here and there. I'm not entirely sure. Well, yeah, but then you're talking
for Dragon
games.
Ball, right?
Yeah, he's known for Dragon Ball. But if you're talking games, like Chrono Trigger is the game that he illustrated for.
Right.
So, but yeah, it sucks about Emu Paradise though, man. Because I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about like how it's just such a bad idea and that it kind of ruins the idea of preservation because it's costly and it's to basically get the native hardware and buy those games. It costs a lot of money, especially with the collector climate the way it is now. And
there's tons of games that will never be played again. There's
exactly
tons.
And CD and like disc decay is a real thing. Like eventually the games that on those discs, they're gonna disc rot. They're not going to be playable anymore. So if anyone wants to go back and play classic games some few decades into the future, like it's not going to be possible.
Yeah, can you imagine
nothing out there?
Yeah, can you imagine a world like just for the layman here? Can you imagine a world where you just couldn't go back? You just could not go back and listen to like Frank Sinatra sing "New York, New York" or Aretha Franklin sing "Respect." You know what I mean? Or Michael Jackson sing whatever song. Like it's unfathomable. Or like there's just movies like, I can't go back and watch Bring It On.
Can you not name a Michael Jackson song?
No, I can. I'm just saying they're all fucking good. Man in the Mirror is my favorite song. I want Man in the Mirror played at my funeral. Just gonna put that on the internet.
So to quote Indiana Jones, it belongs in a museum.
I mean, it's just give us a listen. I want a legal way. I'm fine with it being legal to give you a reasonable amount of money to play whatever video game that ever came out before. Like, give me that service. I'm not saying I want it all for free necessarily if I can't have it free, but I will take it for free. Right. But I would pay money to play, some of these licensed games that will never, ever see the light of day ever again. There's just huge, massive swaths of video game history that are going to remain inaccessible. It's just fucking sucks.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, so I know there's like Sega Genesis, the classic collections that they're coming out with, they're putting more stuff on the eShop. And there's also, Nintendo. And I think that's a big reason why they took that down was because they're coming out with the online service and they're giving people like they're basically drip feeding NES Classic type games as part of the online service that you pay for.
Yeah.
On the Switch.
How much you want to bet those are just ROMs? I mean, they're 100% just ROMs.
Probably. Yeah, almost guaranteed. But it's like, that's not going to cover everything. There's so many obscure and unique consoles and games out there that it's just impossible to cover everything. So especially here in Seattle, there's a lot of collectors that are working towards the idea of preservation. The video game museum is actually a thing. I think they're based out of Texas. Right. And they actually travel the country with a good part of their collection. But it's a huge hit to the people that want to enjoy those old games. And a lot of those people that enjoy those old games, they see if they enjoy the game, and then maybe they'll go out of their way and actually buy it. That's how Spotify has helped me out. Like if I hear something I like on Spotify enough, I go out of my way to buy that album.
Dude, I did not know about Nothing More until Spotify, or like Asking Alexandria, or just a ton of other bands. I learned from looking at like the hot metal chart or whatever on Spotify.
That's
like,
what
who the
I'm
fuck's
saying.
This is awesome.
Yeah, there's tons of bands that never would have gotten your money had Spotify not been a thing. So
100%.
I think it's a similar idea here. And yeah, I feel like it should almost be similar to music, because you know how you have like public domain laws and stuff like that, right? I feel like like in the case of some way old games, it should be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as the legality's there.
They just have different challenges. It's not like you need a specific type of tape player or record player to play this type of music. You know what I mean? It's like a medium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you do need a Sega Genesis or a Game Gear to play those specific games. That's one of the major hurdles here.
Right. Exactly.
It's not like you need a Seattle box to listen to grunge, and then like a Ohio box to listen to emo, right? It's just, you have a CD player, you have a cassette player, whatever, you're good.
You want to listen to your favorite grunge music? Try Seattle Box.
No,
listen, somebody's going to take
Seattle
that.
box.
Somebody's going to take that, and they're going to turn it into a monthly subscription box where it's just nothing but grunge.
Is Seattle like still really like gripping to grunge as it's part of its identity as a city?
Well, considering
That's
that
kinda
Alice in
surprising.
Chains is pushing the shit out of their new album here, they're playing a show on the Space Needle. They're doing the scavenger hunt thing today with the secret show on Friday. They're playing and Pearl Jam just had 2 home shows last week that raised $11 million for homelessness.
Wow.
Like it's huge. There's 2 shows, and I think next weekend, that are grunge tribute shows. They're just all grunge tribute bands, and you have to pay to get in. They're like $20 a ticket.
Right, but I wouldn't say grunge is dominating the market here in Seattle. It's not like everywhere
I'm not saying
you turn.
it's dominating, but it's in the.
It's part of the DNA of the city.
It's
It's part of
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also like, it's not like Pearl Jam could be like, we're gonna raise money for the homeless in Seattle. In Austin, Texas, guys, we're gonna have 2 away shows in Austin, Texas. And,
but I believe you were asking if it was still a thing in Seattle, right, Jack?
It sounds like it's still a thing. Yeah, I'm just curious
it's still
if they're
a
like
thing here. Yeah.
Okay, because I mean that was fucking almost damn near 30 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Bring us back on track though, Colin. What have you been playing?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so which game should I go with first? I'm gonna talk about Shadow of Mordor.
Is that the first one?
I've had Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor sitting on my shelf for a good long while. And it was one of those games where like I played, I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours. And I was just like, it's hard to play that game without deriving some sort of comparison to Assassin's Creed, to the Batman Arkham games. It's like they're just kind of glaring, in my opinion. So much so, I don't know I think Robert recalls it, but I don't know if you remember, Jack, they actually called that game out for possibly, like, they almost got sued because they allegedly stole Assassin's Creed 2 code.
No, we've actually talked about this multiple times on this very podcast, so yeah.
Have we? Shit.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, just as a reminder, I guess, then.
Remember when Colin stole from our show, talking about the time when Assassin's Creed code was stolen?
Good Dead Cells review, guys.
Yeah, hell yeah. Anyways, point being, that was a thing. But one day the mood struck me. I was like, okay, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to try it again. So I put it, because I love Lord of the Rings. So for the sake of that, I tried it. I'm going to give it a second chance. And I will say, like, the first few hours was kind of a slog, kind of pushing through. And it's repetitive a little bit, I would say. And the game gets kind of samey. But it hits a point in the game where you start leveling up and your character, Talion, just turns into a fucking murder machine. And it just makes the game so enjoyable for some reason. Like, you're countering and just like splitting skulls and just cutting heads off and taking out all these orcs. It's so easy. And the next thing you know, they throw. And what makes me upset though is they don't throw this in until later, like way late, 20 hours into the game. You can start branding orcs and start building essentially an army of orcs to fight for you. And so it turns into like almost a strategy game, and it's just so enticing. And the game just took like almost a 180 turn for me in terms of like how motivated I felt to play the game. Now it's like I'm actually really enjoying the game. And it also helps that like halfway through the game, the setting switches. Like you're on a whole new map, you know, you do have to do the whole Nemesis system thing again, but it's just so much more enjoyable because you get a prettier place to look at. You're not staring at the Black Gate constantly, and all of Mordor, it's like it's water and blah blah blah. Anyways, point being, yeah, I basically had a change of heart on Shadow of Mordor, and it's a pretty decent game. And then I ordered the sequel off of GameFly, and they sent me a disc that doesn't work. So yeah, yeah,
That sucks. That
yeah,
sucks.
because they had like a huge sale where you could get a bunch of used games dirt cheap. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you all the contents, we'll give you the box and everything. I got the disc and I put it in the PlayStation, and it just wouldn't install. So I'm like, well, hey, GameFly, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, sorry, you can just send it back to us. I'm like, well, by the time I do that, it's going to cost me about what it cost me to buy the game. So thanks, I guess.
I mean, not quite, but I mean,
Not
it depends
quite.
on if they're gonna send you another copy.
They're not though.
Mm.
They're just going to refund me, and that's it.
Rip.
Yeah, so it almost isn't worth it. I'd probably make a little bit of money back, you know, but like not that much.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. But point being, the series is actually pretty decent. And what really put me off though was because I had to go back and look at the reviews the game was getting at the time, because the game when it came out was kind of like a sleeper hit. No one was really super expecting it to be good because the last few Lord of the Rings games really weren't I mean, Lord of the Rings Conquest was decent. Lord of the Rings War in the North was pretty mediocre. So everyone,
the what was that? A Battle for Middle Earth 2 was one of the best strategy games ever made.
yes, Battle for Middle Earth 2 was actually very highly touted, and that's
Fucking sweet.
Actually, that's an expensive game now. Believe
It
it or
is
not.
rare on 360 too.
Yeah.
It needs to be on Batwars Compat on Xbox One X and 4K.
Is
Let's
that
stop
game in-
fucking around.
Yeah.
Wow. Very passionate. He's a man who's passionate.
He's so passionate about this subject. Like, wait, is it not on PC?
I don't think so.
It's not because I feel like the game would work better on PC anyway.
It seems like it would be. But I feel like it's weird. Look it up, Robert. But I feel like it's a weird thing because you would think it is, but it's not. That's why it's so expensive on 360.
Huh.
It might have been a 360 exclusive. I hope I'm wrong.
It was in it. Well, console. It was a 360 console exclusive. It wasn't on any other console. But I don't know if it
think
was
it's
on PC or not.
Dude. I don't think it is.
That sucks though if it's not, because I've always heard good things. I've always wanted to check it out. But
Robert,
anyway,
what are your findings?
It's on Microsoft Windows, y'all.
What does that mean?
so it's in the Microsoft Store.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's playable on Windows somehow.
For a PC?
Oh, it's playable
Okay.
on Windows somehow.
Okay. But it's
So
not
it's
on
not
Steam.
I don't know if it's on Steam. Anyways, but Lord of the Rings has had like kind of a wishy-washy history, I would say, with video games. But Shadow of Mordor, I would put it in the good category. It's one of the better ones. What is it, Robert?
Okay. So it's available on PC, but you need to buy a disc, I think. Is how it is?
I knew there
no.
was some serious bullshit. It's on. Guess what, guys? It's not on Windows. It's on fucking CD-ROM.
It's on PC
It's on
CD.
floppy disk.
Anyone want to guess the cheapest Amazon price I can find for it?
I bet you it's like $100.
$150.
$159.88.
Fuck you.
Jeez, what is that?
It's
used
a
or
sweet
new?
game though.
That's allegedly new. Used is $99.99.
Oh my god, it's so crazy,
Yep.
dude. And I'm
it's
like,
a great game though. I beat it. I think I gameflied it.
there was also the Lord of the Rings: The Third Age, which was a fucking turn-based Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah.
It was so strange. It was weird. It was
More like
it was
turd based. Oh wait, was that on PSP?
and there might have been a version of it on PSP.
There was a PSP, like a Final Fantasy Tactics Lord of the Rings on PSP. I played it and I was looking forward to it, and it wasn't that good.
Oh, that's lame. But anyway, yeah, Shadow of Mordor, pretty decent game. If you haven't played it, it's worth it. It's worth it on sale for sure. Monolith Productions doing some pretty decent stuff. Nemesis system kicks ass. Looking forward to play Shadow of War.
See, so when Shadow of Mordor came out, I was just like all in. I played it and I was like, wow, this is actually like really solid for a Lord of the Rings game. And I mean, full disclosure, I don't like the Lord of the Rings. I can't stomach the movies for whatever reason. But that game was just like very addictive in its gameplay. And the Nemesis system is actually all that jazz. It's like,
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm honestly very surprised that no other major franchise has ripped that off in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, everyone in the industry was surprised. Everyone's like, "Why isn't more people funding this?"
That's in the new. That's in the new
like
version,
stem cell
though, right?
research.
Like they used it in the sequel, right?
Oh yeah,
they did.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, everyone thought they were gonna rip that off, and it really is harkening more back to Mercenaries on Xbox. It's like the Deck of 52 system.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes for a solid, fun gameplay, and it genuinely pisses me off when I get killed in the game. They're like, "Oi, Ranger, you're pretty easy to kill, eh?" And then they're like, then you gotta watch the next 5 minutes of like them taking each other over and killing each other, and then getting more powerful, and you're like, "Motherfucker." And yeah.
I also love how all the Urks, right, not orcs, they're all just angry British men.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're all voiced by the same guy.
Yeah, just one guy. We are Legion.
Oi, Ranger. You know how many times I've heard that?
You just like doing that. Just admit it.
Dude, you hear it all the time.
Yeah, it's Collin. Oi, Ranger. Sparling.
Hey now. Hey, be nice.
No.
Anyway.
So what other bits have you been playing?
So I've been playing quite a few other games, but I want to give some love to Ease 8. Ease 8, the Lacrimosa of Dana.
You're a sucker for these Japanese like games that come out monthly.
Well, Ease is a great series, and it's always been one that I've wanted to dive into, and I finally did it. Ease 8, I've been paying attention to for a really long time, and I was really patient because I wanted to wait for the Nintendo Switch version. And Ease 8 is the first game in the Ease series to be fully 3D. All the other games were like sprite based, and pretty basic graphics. They just kind of like got the job done. But what stands out in the Ease games is the action RPG gameplay. And it's definitely one of like the best it's one of the best RPG series for that, I would say, in the Japanese role playing genre, because it's like if you took Zelda, but like threw a bunch more enemies at you and just made it way more frantic. And
wait, so Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah,
I mean, basically just described Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, but it's not like I don't know. It's not that repetitive though. I don't know. I wouldn't say there's like as much as like, oh, you got to guard this base, and then you got to go here, you got to go there. There's actually
nowhere to be found.
Yeah, there's an actual decent story to this one, and the characters will like actually have some depth, unlike a Hyrule Warriors.
Hey, Link has a lot of deepness.
Yeah, when his all of his saying nothing.
Yeah,
and dude, Hyrule Warriors is basically just a fan service game, all right, and this 100%. Is coming from a Zelda fan. Yeah. That's all it is. So Ease 8 it's a great game, very action based, and it takes a little bit to get used to the controls, and it just locomotion takes a little bit of getting used to. You run a lot faster than what you anticipate. I don't know. Overall game feel just kind of feels, it just takes some getting used to. But it is a game that will kick your ass. Like, you make one wrong move, dude, you're dead. You are one dead boy. Yeah. And like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's very consequential. It's like, you die, gotta go through that area again, gotta retrace your steps, gotta make it all the way back, and their enemies respawn constantly, which, and that, on that note, it's a very grindy game.
That sounds kind of obnoxious, kind of.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's obnoxious. It's like I haven't like had to sit there and grind for hours and hours and hours on end. It's not. It's definitely not nearly as bad as Dragon Quest that I was talking about before. Dragon Quest 8.
Real quick, if I could just chime in on like game mechanics that I'm surprised have not caught on more.
Yeah,
when we talk about games that were grindy but also kind of got it right, I think Earthbound deserves a shout out here, because if you got to like certain amount of levels above an enemy and they were just so beneath you, just as soon as they touched you in the overworld, you just got the XP and the items from them. Nice. They wouldn't even let you fight them because you were like, you're just gonna win this, go in here and hit them once and die. So they would save you the trouble of doing that. And I just think like, I wish more. You guys never play the game?
Good. No, I've never actually played Earthbound.
Bro, okay, first of all, play that. Holy fuck. But also, I just wish more games would adopt something like that to when you're grinding and if you get above a certain level threshold, you're just going to get all the shit from them. But it wouldn't be worth that much, you know what I mean? It wouldn't really pay to sit there and do that all
Or
day.
I think Bravely Default did something. They did that pretty well too, where you could like adjust the frequency of like how often enemies would you'd run into enemies.
No, agreed.
Yeah. So what I appreciate, well, obviously it being an action RPG, it's not like a turn-based thing, because that's what annoys me about the more turn-based JRPGs is that those games where you can't see the enemies, right? Where it's just you're kind of walking, and then you're just in battle. I don't know why. It's just that just annoys the piss out of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but like it's just I like to see enemies, and I like the idea of like going up behind them and then hitting them and then engaging battle when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think engaging battle should be on me, or like if I like the Tales of series does that, right? Where you go to an enemy, you hit them, and then you're in battle. Then everything happens. Then you're out of battle. Right. Or unless they come up behind you and they sneak on you, they get a sneak attack, blah blah blah. I like that. I like having that agency. But the idea of like just kind of walk, like Octopath Traveler, I think does it right, where you're just kind of walking and then you're just in battle. Like
it's like Pokemon.
Right. Which I can tolerate it because I don't think Octopath is obnoxious about it, and you can take potions to like make it less frequent. Anyway, back to Ys. So basically the idea of Ys is you like you have him like not amnesia, but like you come up on this deserted island, you crash your ship, and then you find all your buddies, and then you're trying to find all your buddies most of the game, and you find out that there's a big bad guy, and blah blah blah. Pretty basic JRPG story.
It's like
wow, you're really selling me on this. Can you tell me more?
I know I don't think you like this game very much.
I know. I feel like it's coming off that way, but I honestly do though, because I don't really know how to like better like kind of project it, but the gameplay of it is definitely like the meat of like the gameplay of it is very enjoyable. Like it constantly changes. You're getting new abilities and new ways to traverse like where you're going, and you're constantly getting new attacks, and like it's really flashy, and you can switch characters on the fly with just the touch of a button. And all of the characters are like very enjoyable. Like their dialogue is hilarious. There's a dude that talks about like shitting and farting all of the time.
Nice.
Like literally all of the time.
Is he just a dude? Is he the guy from Metal Gear?
Is he
wearing pants every game?
Wait,
yeah, he's
is
like, I heard they're making a new Metal Gear.
Is he your right hand man? Is he your number 2?
Yeah, he's my number 2.
Reichard,
like
Captain Reichard.
He just I forget his name. He's just some big dude. He literally uses an anchor as a weapon. It's a fucking anchor with one side of it broken off, and that's his weapon. And
sounds
he's like,
shitty.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. No, he actually kicks major ass, and that's the cool thing about the battle system is they make you use the whole switching on the fly thing, because every enemy has a different type of damage. They can like a different weakness. Otherwise, you're not dealing shit with the damage. So you got to constantly switch characters in order to deal that damage, right? So yeah, that's all well and great, and the game is pretty fluid and it feels good. But the biggest problem I have with this game is the Switch port is fucking terrible. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yikes.
Like frame rates all over the place. The resolution's all over the place. Yeah. That like NIS America dude just biffed on this port. Like I don't know what they were thinking. It just doesn't run well. It's like I'm sitting there and you can watch during the cutscenes, and the game like fluctuates resolutions during the cutscenes.
Gosh.
Yeah. I'm not
That's
shitting
just
you, dude.
Fucking sloppy, dude.
Yeah, it's a terrible port, and it's like not even locked at 30 frames per second. It's like it definitely dips at times, and they put out I think 4 patches, and they still haven't fixed that problem yet. I don't even know if they're gonna put any more patches out, but it's just frustrating. Like it's literally making me want to buy the PS4 version just so I can get a consistent 60 frames in 1080p and not have to worry about it. Like the reason why I'm still holding on to the Switch version is because it's portable.
But is that portability worth it when that's what your performance is going to look like?
Just barely. Like it's playable enough for me to like still want to play the Switch version. And luckily for their sake, I'm too far into the game to kind of quit now. That sort of deal. You know, I'm already like 10 or so hours in, so it's quitting now would kind of suck. I would have to restart from scratch. But yeah, but I will say though, the gameplay is strong enough to make me keep playing, and the characters are funny and hilarious to talk to, and it's anime as hell. It's anime as all hell. It's over the top. The character designs look kind of ridiculous, and of course the women characters show like a little too much skin, as per usual in a JRPG. It's like, oh yeah, obviously the less skin is covered, the more protection you have, right? Yeah.
I don't understand the appeal.
Right.
Of anime girls or the whole game?
The whole game, based on what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't. It's like I would like recommend it. It's just I feel like those aspects of the game should be called out. I will say though, if you're gonna buy the game like today, you're gonna go out and play this game, just play the PS4 version. Like if you don't want to deal with the performance issues, just don't. Yeah, just play the PS4 version. But it is it's fun as hell. I will say it's a very fun game. And
I've heard it has a phenomenal story. Not at all run of the mill. per your description.
You're there for the characters are what carries the story. Like the bonding between the characters, the overarching plot isn't the greatest. It's not going to blow you away, but the characters themselves are fun.
I feel like we've been talking for 15 minutes about how this game is not that good.
Part of me thinks you're giving it a pass because it's a JRPG.
I wouldn't say that. Like I do enjoy the gameplay. That's why I play JRPGs mainly though, is because of the gameplay. Like that's the main pull for me.
Like hitting stuff and watching the numbers get bigger. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean it's addictive. It's an addictive formula though. I mean it really is. But I mean I feel like it is like a common problem though in JRPGs, right? Is like the graphics engines, like they're not usually the best optimized. You know what I mean? Like Tales of Berseria wasn't a good looking game. It
didn't look the worst, but yeah.
No, it wasn't the worst, but it looks like a late PS2 game with an up-res.
Yeah. Like Final Fantasy 15 though, that looks good.
That looks good. It could have looked better though. I feel like it could have looked better.
PC, bro, looks good.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's PC though. Anyways, all right. Yeah, I've been going too long, but I promise I recommend this game.
Yeah, it's a great game, great characters, great story, fantastic story. Buy it for the story. Story's the best.
I heard the combat's good too.
Yeah, well, I've heard the combat's just all right. You're playing it for the story and the anime girls.
Wait, never mind that. The whole game, it's just all right. No. Just backtrack my entire statement.
It's great. 9.5 out of 10.
Yep. Yes.
I've been playing a lot of games too, since we really haven't been talking about games on this podcast that much. But I don't know. So I guess I played a little bit of the Black Ops 4 beta over the past weekend. And I have to say, Jack, you remember when we played the World War II beta last year? And you remember what we said?
Yeah, it unsold me on the game. I was not excited. And I didn't play the beta. I wanted to. I didn't realize you had to pre-order, though, which I should have known by now.
On PC, you didn't have to pre-order. I didn't pre-order.
What?
If you wanted to play a day early, you had to pre-order. But after that, it was just like open.
I fucked up. But anyways, based on the video footage I saw of gameplay, it doesn't look like I missed fucking much. I'll let you tell it as it is.
Yeah, it's a Call of Duty ass Call of Duty. That's what we said last year.
Do they have the blackout mode open? The a la Fortnite?
No, the beta for that is September. So keep an eye out for that. I think September 10 is when it opens for PS4, and they haven't announced the dates for the other consoles yet.
That's what I want to see. That's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, that's going to be what's going to change a lot of this upcoming Call of Duty. But so you remember how this new Call of Duty has like health bars, right? And then you're supposed to like you inject yourself with the healing juice, and that's how you heal instead of like just hiding out around a corner.
Okay.
I thought like, oh, okay, so it's maybe going to make it feel a little bit more like Overwatch, like I'm playing Soldier 76 or something. It still feels like Call of Duty. It still feels like the exact same damn thing. And the only thing that's different now is when someone hides behind a corner, you can bet that they're probably healing themselves. You have to like whittle them down again. But that's like kind of the only real like change in gameplay that it's added. And of course, like knowing for when you should heal yourself, right? But it just doesn't. It doesn't feel different enough, in my opinion.
The thing is that their audience, I feel like, has spoken when Advanced Warfighter came out and was so radical with the side jumps and the air jumps and the wall walking and all that Titanfall 2 type shit. And that was one of the worst selling versions of that game.
Yeah.
And I like that game a lot. I think, and I played a lot of the multiplayer compared to, Ghost or other, Call of Duties that have come out since. And I wish that they I don't know. That was a good looking game, and I wish that they would continue to innovate in the space and multiplayer. But they're just like there's some chart somewhere. Eric Hirschberg's ghost is haunting those halls, and he's alive. And
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like there's some charts there where they're like, oh no, we see the analytics. Actually, people play for the X amount during this time if we do this kind of mode. Da 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 da. So they're playing it safe and they're playing it to please investors, not necessarily to please gamers. They think, but they mistakenly think it's one and the same. But it's not going to get me excited about Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Like I'm still interested to see what the blackout mode looks like, but I don't know.
Better be some real shit because that's basically the whole game because there's no single player.
Yeah, I mean, then there's also the zombies mode, which is definitely like the only thing I'm still excited about. But I don't know if I'm $60 worth of excited about it.
Are they? You said you would buy Just Zombies.
I would buy a Just Zombies game, 100%.
For $60?
I would buy a $60 version of Call of Duty that just had a ton of zombies maps on it.
Okay. Have there been any announcements in terms of like who the special guests are for zombie mode this year? Or
they're just like a whole bunch of
how they do funny,
Yeah, no, nothing yet. No, it's just like here's 4 random characters and then the 4 old guys. That's about it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so nothing crazy on that front.
I feel like Call of Duty is like it's always one of those games, or at least it has been for a long time now, where like everyone that I've known that's a known Call of Duty fan that are in my social circles are like, oh yeah, fuck Call of Duty. I'm not getting the Call of Duty this year, but they end up buying it fucking anyway.
Yeah,
like they'll talk all of the shit about it.
It's one of
and
those
then they'll
games,
end up fucking buying it anyway.
It's like Madden kind of like I'm playing Madden almost at this year's version. I better play it. It's similar to that. It's in that same stratosphere, right? Of like annual releases.
Yeah. Well, I've heard this year's though is especially bad. Like Angry Joe released a video about this year's Madden, and it's just so threadbare when it comes to features. Like apparently the character customization is just fucking awful. And among other, like the franchise mode is just really bare bones, or like everything about it's basically just a roster change with stripped features out. Like that's what I've heard it is. And there's the nasty EA like kind of loot cards and coins type system.
I feel like Battlefield is going to be so much better version of what Call of Duty is going to be. Which
is funny because Battlefield's like pre-orders are down 85% compared to Call of Duty's this year.
No shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, at least I remember
85
reading that somewhere. I should probably
that's
double
not
check
a
to
small,
confirm.
That's not a small number, my boy.
Well, I'm not buying it because I'm on Premiere, right? So I'm not pre-ordering Call of Duty either.
There's way too many other good games that are coming out that I'd rather play than Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Yeah. I'm gonna play Battlefield regardless. I'm in it.
So 85% might be a bit of an overshot, but they are lower than expected. The pre-order amount for Battlefield 5.
Yeah, they said the pre-orders are weak. I don't know. There's just they're showing in the trailers and shit like that. It just wasn't super strong.
I'm also not that surprised because I'll bet people are still I'm still salty about Battlefront 2.
Yeah. I bet people are still on that boat.
That's part of it. I mean, it's definitely it could be part of like a boycott EA sort of situation.
I can now play that game absolutely free, and I'm still not playing it.
Yeah, it's okay. There's an open beta though for Battlefield 5 coming soon, so maybe that'll change people's minds. Who knows?
Yeah, my buddy was actually telling me that EA is going to be losing their exclusivity license for the NFL after I think next year.
Who's gonna come up and challenge them? Sega?
2K.
This is stated? I don't know.
Well, dude, NFL 2K could be a thing, dude. They've been killing it on the NBA front. Like NBA, the NBA 2K games are like a huge step up in quality in terms of the Madden, like ahead of the Madden series. So if they threw their head in the ring against Madden, we could actually start getting good football games again. Just saying.
We'll see. I mean, that is an ideal scenario, and I hope for that. But
right,
we'll see.
I mean, friggin' EA is over there pitter-pattering with NBA Live. That's not doing shit.
I love piling on EA at any chance here, but let's not forget that when that deal happened, the NFL was shopping around looking for people to purchase exclusivity rights. EA didn't go to them. The league went to developers like, who wants to give us this much money, $450 million or whatever it was, for exclusive rights, and EA was the only one that could afford it. So they took it. Why not? So that was more the league. So who's to say they won't do it again?
That's fair. I don't know. Like, maybe it'll be amidst the controversy that EA has been receiving. Maybe they've kind of lost goodwill with the NFL. Who knows? I don't know. Could it be a myriad of things? I'm just kind of speculating.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. Bring it on. I want multiple fucking. Oh my god! You know, I just realized if 2K did the college game, it would be freaking over because that's another thing that doesn't exist anymore. That's a potential monopoly for 2K. If they did that, the internet would flip out.
Well, that's on the NCAA though, isn't it?
Flip out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did a college football game because there hasn't been one for like 5 years or so, whatever.
Yeah. Right. It's funny because the last one's actually worth some money now. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I own it. I kept it actually when I moved.
Wow. Nice.
Yep. Madden.
Mm-hmm. I said let's probably switch over and start talking about some news because a lot of stuff happened, and I don't want to just shove it in the corner. So thanks. Let's start talking about some news. So the big thing, some weird conference of some kind is happening in Germany. I think they call it Gamescom.
I hear it's a big deal.
I hear it's a huge deal. And tons of news has been coming out of that. Some of the big highlights here. Devil May Cry 5 has got a release date.
Dude, that game has a very nice frame rate and very nice lighting. I saw some gameplay. I was pretty impressed.
That game looks great. Devil
May Cry 5.
Dante can take his motorcycle, just split it in half, and use the halves of the motorcycle as chainsaw blades.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Right? Like, fuck Snow from Final Fantasy 13. Like, oh, my motorcycles are two goddesses. Fuck that shit, man. Give me chainsaw blades.
I don't even know what you're talking about. That sounds stupid. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Final Fantasy 13 character whose summon is just two fucking Indian goddesses who fuse together and 69 each other to make a bike that he rides on.
Erotic.
It's weird. So yeah, DMC5 looks like it's going to be great. Nero's whole electronic bionic arm thing looks like it's going to be so much fun to play with.
So dope. Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, there's a scene where he's literally riding on his bionic arm like it's a fucking hoverboard.
Yeah, he's rocket punching.
Are you serious, dude?
It's great.
It's everything that I think if Devil May Cry fans aren't diehards aren't satisfied with this, I don't know what else. What else do you want?
It looks good.
I mean, here's the thing though, right? Even after this game comes out and it gets 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, right? There's still going to be those people that Devil May Cry 3 was so much better. This isn't even a real Devil May Cry game because it's just not as good. Devil May Cry 3 had the best combo system and the best.
It's not running on Devil May Cry 3's engine. So
and Devil May Cry, it's multi-plat, right? It's not going to be exclusive.
Yeah.
It should be multiplayer.
Oh, I'm gonna play it on that X.
Yeah,
that's they released the gameplay footage of it running on the X too. It was nice.
Ooh, so nice.
Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is coming out 2 weeks later on March 22.
Yowza.
Yo, March. Actually, more like Q1 of 2019 is action RPG or action game. Just.
Y'all,
it's a renaissance.
I've been saying it since E3. I've been saying it since E3. Q1 next year is going to be like Q1 2015, and even last year was really good Q1 too when Persona came out.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Sekiro, Devil May Cry 5. Am I missing something? It's
the
action
Division
game goodness.
2, if you care.
Did they put a release date on Biomutant? Because the gameplay is looking pretty dope.
I do not know.
Because Biomutant's actually I was actually surprised. It's looking pretty solid. Because I was really skeptical at first. A lot of people were like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Why is there so much buzz in this game? We don't even know anything about it yet." But gameplay looks solid. Anything about it, Robert?
No, I'm not seeing anything yet.
Oh, maybe not then. But yeah, a lot of friggin' good action games. Sekiro looks awesome. I haven't watched all that gameplay that they released yet, but I already know I'm hyped. It's from Software.
Yeah.
Only worry I have though, Activision publishing it, still kind of iffy on that.
I mean, Activision published Tenchu by From Software, so
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like March is a weird time for that to come out though. Can't help but feel that way.
So about Biomutant, that's delayed till summer 2019, so who knows?
Oh, rip. Okay.
But with Sekiro, I mean, it's I don't think the fact that Activision's publishing it should worry you because it's still FromSoft. You know what I mean? I think they've earned enough goodwill that I think it'd be dumb of Activision to be like messing with their formula, you know?
Yeah, I would hope so. I just hope they don't inject some Activision bullshit in there. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they will. Like some, like, you know, loot boxes or fucking microtransactions or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think that game looks great. It looks like Dark Souls plus Bloodborne on crack. It looks like you got to move super fast for it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, all with that feudal Japan backdrop. I think, well, now that I think about it, I think Bloodborne, I think all the Souls games were spring releases when they originally came out, weren't they? Yeah, because Dark Souls 3 was, Bloodborne was, Dark Souls 2 was, because they all came out in like April or March.
Yeah, I know for a fact Dark Souls 3 came out in March.
Yeah, and I know for a fact Dark Souls 2 did as well, and I'm pretty sure Bloodborne did too. But don't quote me on it. Anyways, that doesn't keep them from selling well, is what I'm getting at. So maybe we shouldn't be worried about the March release date so much.
I wasn't worried about it in the first place.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast and they said like, I don't know why that's a spring release, and I'm like, well,
okay, but what was their argument? Like games don't sell in the spring?
Well, yeah, because spring is seen as kind of like the February March time is kind of seen as a dead zone for game sales.
What,
to a lot
dude?
of publishers.
Not that. I don't know, man. I feel like that's always been pretty hot over the last 5 years, at least.
Yeah, I could see the argument for January, right? Because like that's right after like Christmas season. Everyone's buying gifts,
but some good shit comes out in January too now.
Yeah, but like
I'm not saying bad stuff. I mean, I'm not saying good stuff doesn't come out then. I'm just saying that like it's. I mean. Like a lot of summer games happen, and then people buy a lot of games during the summer because they know nobody has going. I feel like that's what goes on in publishers' heads, but who knows? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I don't think we have anything to worry about though, because it has enough clout, especially in the past, releasing that window that I don't think it's something to worry about.
Guys, video games are back. We're gonna have them. They're gonna be out. It's gonna be good. Life is good.
Video games
are a thing.
Video games.
I don't care, man. I'll buy video
hiatus.
games. I don't give a fuck. There's never a bad time to buy video games.
I don't know about you guys. I haven't played a video game in forever because they never come out anymore. But thank God, next March, some video games are going to start coming out again. It's
only video games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark your calendar for March.
Yeah. Also, mark your calendar for August 27, 2019, as the day Shenmue 3 is supposed to come out.
I'm calling it now. It's gonna slip. It looks like shit right now. There's no way that's a year off. I hope I'm wrong. I am in the Kickstarter. They send me way too many emails. I actually just had to submit a Kickstarter questionnaire to see what version I wanted. I opted for the Steam version because reasons.
Right.
So who knows? Is this game going to be like 3 hours long? That's kind of my fear.
Shenmue 3 hours.
I am right there with you, Jack. I mean, even though we got this game announced for like quite some time ago, last time we saw it just didn't look all that good. I mean, they released a trailer recently. It's still like it looks better, but it doesn't look anywhere like near the shape it needs to be in yet. Yeah. And a year from now does not sound plausible to me.
Games have changed so much since Shenmue 2, and I never played Shenmue 2. I played the shit out of Shenmue 1, but oh my gosh.
You getting the HD re-release?
I have considered it, but I haven't yet. But man, I'm telling you, and by the way, it doesn't even look that good. The screenshots I'm seeing of the HD re-release, but
nope.
I mean, it's just an up-res.
If you go back, yeah, it looks like it. If you go back and play Shenmue 1, man, that's not an easy game to revisit. It really is not. It's a slog. And it's just so antiquated at this point now. So if they're just putting out another one of those, like, kind of like, what's the point? You know what I mean? They're going to have to really, really, really change some of the core tenets of that series to even compete with games coming out now. Unless you're like positioning it as, oh, this is a retro game being, you know what I mean? Like, this is a demake. This is a retro game released in 2019. I don't know. I'm pessimistic, but again, I kickstarted it, so I'm part of the problem.
Nice.
I'd have to see some actual gameplay and see how it's going to go.
I'm rooting for them. I am rooting for them. I want them to succeed. I want this to be a cool thing. It is a cool thing. I want this to not end up like Mighty Number 9, which I'm worried about.
Same. I mean, I don't know what it's like. A lot of Kickstarter games recently have been pretty iffy. Like, I mean, Mighty Number 9, like Jack mentioned, but then We Happy Few. I don't know if you guys have been following reviews of that, but that
Yeah,
thing
Jim
is
Sterling shat all over that game.
yeah, that's a stinking pile of garbage. And that
That
was
was a bad
Kickstarter
game. You were looking forward to it, Robert.
I was, and I haven't even booted it up because everything I've heard is just like
Yeah, do you kickstart the $60 version? I can't remember.
I did, but I only paid like $30. So
Okay.
yeah.
Still though. It's down the
Yeah,
road.
I know. I still haven't even booted it, which is a shame.
Ooh.
It's a technical
Bloodstained.
mess.
Bloodstained got delayed
Yes.
to 2019.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's
Yeah.
sad.
What
about-
you know, I
Good.
think Koji Igarashi is. I think he just does not. He desperately does not want to pull Mighty Number 9. I think that's why he's just taking his sweet time with it.
Yeah,
because
because
he's like he saw Keiji Inafune really royally fuck up with that game, and he's just like, listen, this isn't gonna happen with Bloodstained. Damn it, not if I can help it.
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
speaking of shitty things about Kickstarter, I got a scary fucking message from my credit report. Literally said, your email address, like my Gmail, is fucking on the dark web.
Oh,
Because of a breach in Kickstarter that happened like last month. And they said to go
Nice.
change all your passwords and shit. And I was like, oh, I'm glad Kickstarter didn't say shit to me about this.
dude, that's some shit.
What the fuck? Can't
yeah,
you, like,
so if you
I don't
guys
know.
are on Kickstarter, you might want to investigate this. But my
I'm not,
password and
but-
everything was compromised.
Yikes.
Rip.
That might be worth looking into.
PSA.
Let's see some more Gamescom news. I don't know. Cyberpunk dropped a couple concept arts. That's cool, I guess.
And some screenshots.
Yeah.
I'm going dark on Cyberpunk, guys. I want to be shocked and surprised like I was with Witcher 3. I'm not gonna look
Screenshots
at
look
shit.
good though.
The game's
Yeah,
going to
and,
run awesome.
Geralt's in it now. They've confirmed that.
You're joking.
And yeah, no, and special guest, all of the Soul
Waluigi.
Calibur series.
Yeah.
Every character in that, they're actually going to be there in Cyberpunk format. It's going to be really cool.
Can you imagine? Listen, can you imagine a Nintendo character's Cyberpunk version? This has got to be on some DeviantArt page or something, please.
I could see that. Let's see. Oh, hey, Nvidia, Team Green, they released their new well, they not released, but they dropped a bunch of information about the new Nvidia chips, the
And they're all-
2000.
They're all
Of PC gaming.
super cheap, super affordable.
Yeah, you could buy one with the 5 cents in your pocket right now.
Well, bro, they pretty much cost as much as a cell phone now is, and that's in condemnation of the price of cell phones now. How is it normal that a cell phone costs $1,000 now? What
Yeah,
the actual
seriously.
fuck? That's crazy, people.
Yeah,
What are
I'm
we
looking
fucking
at you,
doing?
Samsung Note 9.
That's
fucking
crazy,
$1,000.
dude. $1,000. Fuck.
Yeah,
off.
dude. If you want an iPhone X with like all the storage, $1,200. There you
Yeah.
go.
I know.
Right
I'm
there.
actually looking to upgrade my iPhone when the new ones come out for my trip to visit you guys.
Isn't that's like a down payment on a fucking car?
It costs like triple what it costs to fly out to Seattle.
The iPhone X2. Is that what you're waiting for?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the X2.
Yeah.
X2.
Yeah, so the sequel to Mega Man X. So the not GTX. Wow, it's actually the RTX, the Nvidia RTX 2000 series.
Ray tracing extreme.
Yeah, where they use real-time ray tracing. So now lighting is going to be totally different the way they render it.
It's somewhat been considered the holy grail of graphics processing until now, and now it's reality.
Right, and now it can happen in your computer for $1,200. So they've announced the 2070, the 2080, and then the 2080 Ti, which go for 500, 700, and 1,000, I think. But then they
This
each
is-
have
Go ahead, sorry.
they each have founders editions that bump it up to like 600, like 900 and $1,200.
This is notable because usually the TIs don't come out for at least another year after the original SKU. So for them all to kind of come out, and is it same day and date?
Yeah, I think they start shipping soon if you pre-ordered.
Man, get your cryptocurrencies ready, shit, because those are gonna
Yeah.
be hard to find.
I'm so mad about just how expensive it is. Like, that's stupid.
Well, when I built my PC with two 980s in it, I spent $1,200 because they were 600 each, and that was back when SLI was a thing, which thank God it isn't anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like a single GPU, like a single piece of your very expensive computer machine is going to be $1,200.
Yeah, $1,200 sitting on an $80 motherboard.
They don't call the master race for no reason. It ain't the cheapest.
I mean, I'm just saying. I
Damn.
feel like that's the highest it's been in years. like the new top of the line cards.
I think it's in line. I honestly think it's in line with the bleeding edge of PC tech. $1,200 for a GPU solution. Again, when considering SLI, I don't think it's like out of the realm possibility for some people. Like, I wish that I was in the market to upgrade because this is very exciting, especially since the TI is out right away. Normally, I wait for the TI line like I did with the 1080 Ti. But I mean, my 1080 Ti is still going fucking strong. A 980 is still a very serviceable and capable card now. So my question to you, did you see like the graphic demos of this? Like, it looks good, looks very good, what it can do. But let me ask you this: is this what these new cards here? Is this what the next generation of consoles is going to look like, or are they going to leap this again in 2020 or whenever ostensibly these new consoles are coming out? Are they going to leapfrog this graphic card generation?
I think this is what it's going to look like. I don't think that there's another leapfrog in store for a good while.
I think Nvidia will leapfrog themselves in 2 years.
I don't know. So the new consoles that come out are sure as hell are not going to be having some sort of RTX 2080 or 2070 in them.
You don't think so? I think that's totally possible.
No, dude, they would cost way too much to produce. Like, the consoles would cost an insane amount of money. Like, the current consoles we have sitting in our living rooms right now, the PS4s, Xbox Ones, what have you, they're using AMD chips. Modified AMD chips.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I predict the next PlayStation is going to be $500, like the top SKU. And I think the Xbox is going to be $400. I think they're going to kind of flip-flop pricing from last gen.
Go back to the PS3 era.
Early guess. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think that no matter what the new consoles decide to do in terms of power, in terms of GPU and things like that, it's going to help raise the bar in general for gaming, because console gaming is what kind of bottlenecks graphics in terms of like how they evolve and things like that, because they have to be, whatever games are on those consoles has to be optimized for said consoles, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But just the cost of production alone, I mean, shit, I don't even know if they're gonna be slapping 1080s and then sons of bitches by the time we get the new consoles. It's probably gonna be closer to a 1060 by the time we get the new consoles.
I feel like cloud gaming as well is going to be much more normalized and integrated as well with next generation.
True. Oh, I mean, I can agree with that.
And cloud processing, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But what, if anything, what this means is that if you are a PC gamer, that means the 1080 Ti is going to start getting cheaper in a few months.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God. I might actually purchase one myself.
Yeah, that's actually.
We think. This is all theoretical. We'll see.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, no, the 1080 Ti, dude. Right after the 2080 got announced, a bunch of the 1080 Ti's went on sale. You can get one for like $400 now.
A 1080 Ti for $400?
Yeah, $434
on Amazon.
It might have been Amazon or Newegg.
That's crazy, dude. Wow.
Yeah, a bunch of them went on sale. Right.
Dude, you can do 4K 60 frames a second. You can do with certain games. You can do 4K 144 frames a second with those things.
I'm not 100% sure if it was a Ti or a regular 1080, but it was one of the two.
Okay,
and $400 is still reasonable.
I'm just saying a 1080 Ti is still an incredibly capable card. There's really nothing I can't play, at over 100 frames a second in 3440 by 1440.
I feel like if you have a 1080 Ti right now, dude, you're set for at least the next 3 or 4 years.
I know. I'm not going to upgrade my personal rig. I don't know. We'll see. I have some options. I don't know whether I'm going to build my wife a new PC or whether I'm just going to build myself one and give her the one I'm using now, which seems a little extravagant. But, I certainly am going to wait, I think, until the next generation. So the 380 Ti's or whatever they're going to be called. That's probably when I'll really invest in a new graphics card.
Right. Just a couple like quick fire news bits also from Gamescom. Life is Strange 2 gets a new trailer. It is weird. It's definitely different. It's definitely not Chloe and Max anymore. It looks like it's going to deal with like PTSD and shit, which is kind of interesting. Blizzard.
I'm into it.
Same. It looks like it's going to be good. Blizzard has revealed a new map for Overwatch. That's going to be in Busan, South Korea. And also they revealed a animated short with Diva, which is kind of cute.
I saw that today. Yeah, man, I can't wait for the fan. I don't know. People are way too fond of those characters, if you guys are catching my drift. I can't wait for them to get a look at those videos. Never mind. I'll change subject.
No. I mean, I don't know. I thought that short was kind of cute. It's kind of cool. It kind of showed Diva in an interesting way. I just want Blizzard to make a movie. I just want to watch an Overwatch movie.
Here's why they never will. World of Warcraft is the thing, that movie.
Yeah, exactly. I'd want one that's like Warcraft, but not shitty like Warcraft.
They need to have like Pixar.
Just hire Pixar to do the full blown animated movie.
Whoever did The Incredibles needs to do Overwatch.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Diablo 3. Apparently people got to play the Switch version at Gamescom.
Oh, cool.
And
how is it? Is there a verdict?
I mean, there isn't like a hard verdict, but I guess it's just like, yeah,
dude, it's locked at 60 frames a second, 720 in mobile mode, in undocked mode, and also there's exactly. And then they're saying that there is going to be no day one patch. The entire game and all the DLC and everything's going to fit on the cartridge. There's no downloads, so that's amazing. A win. That's great.
Yeah,
amazing.
And apparently even like, because we've all played Diablo 3, when things get really hectic, right, like there are a lot of explosions and blood on the screen, right, like it can, like if you have a lower powered rig, it can like stutter you for a couple seconds, right, like we all know that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Apparently
go ahead.
The Switch doesn't do that according to this hands-on from IGN.
Right. If Switch was my only console, my only means of playing games, I would be fucking psyched for this game.
Yeah. I'm actually still pretty pumped. I haven't played Diablo since when it released in 2012. So this is like the perfect reason for me to jump back in.
It's just me. It's so clearly more than almost any other game I can think of besides maybe StarCraft, right, or RTSs. But it's so clearly a mouse and keyboard game. That's where it would be so hard for me to adjust.
No, I hear you. I played the PS3 version a little bit way back when, and it was a huge adjustment to get used to using face buttons to do attacks and shit like that.
I've heard though that the jump to console, it's not bad, but I think I'd still prefer playing it only on PC personally.
It's such a mouse keyboard game. One of the most keyboard games.
And Colin, if you get it for PC, then you can play it with Jack and I.
I mean, that's a thing, and we can dink you.
Yeah, instead of playing it alone on your Switch.
Wait, can you crossplay? Is there crossplay?
I
doubt it.
Fact. Whatever. Why would I want to play with friends anyway? Friends are stupid.
Yeah, friends are dumb, guys.
Okay.
All right. Let's wrap up the show here. So I kind of wanted to start this wrap up off.
Talking to your mic, dude. What are you doing?
Fine. Let's wrap up the show, guys.
Welcome back to the show, Robert.
Hi.
Oh, he's alive.
What about now? Are we good? Are you guys good?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
We're great.
Good. All right. So I wanted to wrap up the show. Okay. So we got a few comments on our last episode on YouTube for our Terrace House spoiler cast. We don't just talk about video games, guys. We also talk about Japanese people living in a house in the woods. We got Lunar. Want to thank you for saying that you were waiting for this. You're welcome. I want to thank James M. For saying that we were pretty good about calling out when Shion and Taka just kind of laid out Tsubasa's whole life story in front of everyone's eyes for no real reason at the dinner table. And he pointed us to a video where apparently Mayu kind of calls him out on that, which is pretty cool.
Thank goodness. That made me think they're at least a little more human now. I just wish there were English subs so I could hear what they're saying.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of in there. But yeah.
And then I want to thank Fidel Cashflow for having a great name, and also just saying that Shohei's a creep.
In so many words.
Yeah. There's a great article by an outlet called Vulture that wrote all about that scene. You guys know which scene we're talking about if you're a fan of the show.
Yeah, that's true. If you have no idea what we're talking about, just go watch Terrace House and listen to our spoilercast, because Terrace House on Netflix is a banger.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And certainly, yeah. Let's keep watching that show. It's pretty good, guys.
Please be excited.
Please remain to be excited.
Yeah.
Only 5 more weeks till the next drop.
Nice. But yeah, that about does it for us for this episode of the Tiny Disc Podcast. So if you enjoyed what we did, consider leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking, smash that like button. Destroy that subscribe.
Fucking slash subscribe bell. Hit the thing.
Colin, I'm hearing you through the wall. through my headphones through the wall.
Do the thing in the stuff to the stuff.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah, no, so, if you also want to email us, you can email us anything that we can read live on this pre-recorded show at tinydiscpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to leave us an iTunes review, that would be super mega helpful. That'd mean a lot to us. If not, start a band in whatever state you're in that resembles whatever genre that your state would do, and win a national hypothetical contest, and then on live TV tell all your friends on national TV to listen to the Tiny Disc Podcast. I'm realizing that I'm going to probably put that joke at the end of the episode, so just wait till the end of the music and you'll get that reference.
Holy crap. Great organization skills, Robert.
Thanks. It's called post-process.
Yes.
Where can we find you guys online on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at @booboo__55, aka Collin and Mono. You know me, yeah.
mr._CEPEDA on Instagram. Hit it up. And also, guys, we're reading the comments you're leaving on YouTube or wherever, so keep them coming.
Yeah, we're leaving an iTunes review because then we'll read that thing. And if you don't leave an iTunes comment, then what justifies your existence, right? You don't have us read it, then you have no reason to live.
Sound logic.
Any other philosophical questions you want to stumble through there, Colin?
No.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Okay,
warm.
wrap it
It's
up.
warm here in the Pacific Northwest.
Wrap it up, guys. You guys, the smoke, you're inhaling it now. It's burning your lungs.
I'm dying.
It's affecting your faculties.
You can find me at PINO. Oh, no. No, I'm kidding. PINOPTIMIST. Thank you so much for listening to episode 59 of the Tiny Disc Podcast. And we'll see you next Thursday. Today is gonna be the day that we throw.
We
it
don't
all
have the
back to you.
copyright, dude. Liam Gallagher will sue the shit out of us.